Hello guys, my name is Emilio Sedan, and today I'm going to basically show you the steps I take in order to make a 3D hard surface model. So I'm going to show you the steps from cropping the references and using that to create a CV curve cage, and then using that as a guide to create the actual geometry and end with something like this. So let's get started. Let me minimize Maya. And for reference, I always try to look for actual blueprints for the aircraft, car, or whatever I'm trying to do. So for this, in this case, I already have my reference, and a simple Google search will do the trick. Just Google whatever you want to model, plus blueprints on the back, on the very end, and you should get a pretty good amount of reference. This is the actual reference I'm using for my aircrafts, and I already have downloaded it. So let me close this. And what we want to do is basically get all these screenshots all on the same size. So when we import them into Maya, they are all perfectly aligned. So I'm gonna take this into Photoshop. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm basically gonna make them all square instead of rectangular, like the way they are here. So I'm gonna grab my marquee tool and basically just marquee select the widest image and copy that. Then create a new document. Let's do 1024 by 1024, and I'm just gonna paste it. And as you can see, Photoshop pasted right in the center, and this is basically what we want. So I'm just gonna create two guidelines, one going vertical and the other horizontal, and I'm basically just gonna take my images and center them. So I'm gonna go back to this one, marking my front view, copy, paste it, and then my side view, copy, and paste that on the new one. So the first one, I'm gonna go ahead and align this one. So basically I want the tip to be right on that line, the tip of the nose of the aircraft right on that center line. So I'm basically just gonna go in and rotate it a bit. That should do the trick. Then I'm gonna grab my front view, whoops, and just center the tip. And then my top view. And for this one, I'm gonna rotate it and have the nose facing down. Okay, now that I have all of these, I'm gonna save them as separate images. So I'm gonna go save as, and you can name them whatever you want as long as you know their the names. So I'm gonna name them F18 Hornet underscore top view, and JPEG is fine, so save that one at maximum 12. Then we're going to do the same for the other two views. Then pick JPEG. And our top view. JPEG and top view. And I just realized I'm missing my side view. Okay, and if you want, you can actually save the PDF just in case you need to do any tweaks to your images. So I'm going to save them F18 PSD. Okay, I'm going to close down Photoshop, and now that I have my my 3 views here, I'm going to go into Maya. Whoops. Create a new document. Let's bring out the grid. Let's actually bring the grid in all my views. Okay, so for the first one, we're going to bring in the top view, and the way we do this is we go under View, Image Plane, Import Image. We go to the directory where you have yours saved. I have mine on the desktop, and pick those images up. Import those images. I'm basically going to do the same for the front and side view. So View, Image, Import Image. Go to my desktop. Go to Orthos and Front. And the side view. There we go, perfect. So now if I go under my perspective view, I can basically see that my aircraft is somewhat aligned, like at least these two are, the side and the front. But this one is generally imported larger than the rest. So if I go here, I can see, if I click on the on either one of the image planes, either the side or the front, I can actually see the size of them, which is the width and the height. I'm basically just gonna grab my top view and just type in 30 in my case. Okay, now it looks pretty good. And now just set up to make it easier for me to start modeling, I'm just gonna move them out of the way. So I'm gonna move this one down, top view, move the front view back on the negative Z, and then the side on the negative X. That way we have a space where we can actually start doing our CV curve cage. Now that we have that, I'm just gonna do a quick save. Let's do F18 version 001. Okay. Now, the tool we're basically going to use is called the CV Curve tool, and you can find them under polygons. Make sure you're on the polygon menu, create, go under create CV Curve tool, and always click the options and just reset the tool. And we can basically just start laying down points in order to make the silhouette of the plane. Okay. If it's harder for you to see what you're actually doing, you can actually go in the perspective, select the view that's causing problems, and just go to the attributes and just turn the color gain down a bit. Now it's much easier. Well, at least you can see the curve now. So I'm just gonna quickly position these along the silhouette of the craft. And since this is the basically the silhouette of the side view, it's gonna show up right here in the center, and that's where we want it actually. So next up, we're gonna basically follow all the contour of the aircraft and all the little details on this with curves. So let me do this vertical stripe here. So now that I created my first CV curve, I can actually go in and hold C and click near my curve, and as you can see, the point is snapping to the curve I made. So that's what we want. Now, basically gonna create, I'm gonna hold Shift to make a straight line. And let's do a couple right here. And to finish the curve, just hit and enter, and that should make it. If we go under perspective view, we can see that we have created a line, but it's straight, it's going straight down. And we actually don't want that. We want our line to follow the contour of this view. So now we're basically going to go into our front view and right click, control vertex to grab those points. And we're basically gonna, before I start doing that, let me go back to my perspective and turn the gain down on this image. Turn that down. Okay. There we go. Much easier to see. Grab this and basically just make the silhouette. And I'm gonna do one more, and then I'm just gonna cut into a later version where I have all the CV curves laid out. So for this one, I'm gonna do, let's do the wing. So for the wing, we're gonna again do the shape. Hit enter, and there we have it. And since I'm going to use the top view to model this one, but first let me turn on the gain again. Sorry about that, guys. There we go. Now let's see. I'm basically going to start again moving these so they match. There we go. And now when just a cool trick to keep in mind is just don't waste your time just trying to make the whole aircraft with one CV curve. You can use multiple, and it doesn't really matter in the end. So I'm gonna again go to my top view and shape these. So now I'm going to go to my side view just to make sure I have that angle, the angle of the wing properly. So this goes kind of like this. Awesome. So that's how you start making your CV curves. So this is what I ended up with for my CV curve cage. It's pretty simple, just a basic shape. Now I'm going to show you how to actually build a geometry on top of this. So what I did was I basically grabbed all the curves and just add them to a display layer and hit the reference. That way I can no longer select them. Now that we have that, I'm going to go under Edit Mesh and Edit Mesh. Yeah, Edit Mesh. And we're going to choose here it is. Sorry, it's under Mesh. Create polygon tool. Now, what we're going to do is basically hold down C to snap our polygons to the curves. I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3. Do as many as you need in order to make the actual shape. I'm just going to go in with my split polygon tool and just cut the mesh up. Just keep it quadded. So we have that. Then we go the other way and basically do the same thing. Just create the basic shape of the nose of this plane. I'm gonna pull this bird back here a bit. There we go. Now, once we have this, it's just a matter of going in and basically just rounding the shape up from all your views. So that, pull this one up a bit, pull this one up. In the side view, basically just try and keep these as straight as possible. And for now, it doesn't really matter if the shape is all clunky and blocky, because you can always just go in and add an extra line with the split polygon tool, with the insert edge loop tool, and just keep on making that shape. And now it depends if you're making a vehicle for movies or games. If it is games, you want to make sure that most of that you get like a general roundness to the shape. But if it's for a movie, remember you can always smooth that out with the 3 key. But yeah, so basically if you keep on doing this, you'll eventually end up with this. Yep, so I'm just gonna do a couple more of these. So mesh, create polygon tool, and let's do the wing. Basically just go C, hold down. Oh, and if you want to go back to the previous dot you created, just hit the delete key, and that should do the trick. Now we're gonna do 1, 2. Try to keep it consistent to the other side. There we go. Now with the split polygon tool, let's go back in and add those lines. Now once I have this, I can use another tool, a pretty cool tool, which is the which is called the pen polygon tool. So I'm gonna click on that and click on one of those edges, and basically the arrow is telling you where the direction, which direction you should follow when creating this polygon. So I'm gonna hit C. Oops. Hit enter. And then we can bring it up again. Click here. Select here. Select this other curve. And then go back and do one more. This is pretty cool because you don't actually need to be creating new polygons, new separate meshes. You can actually continue just building up on whichever one you've started. So let me do one more time. Let me do it one more time. So edit mesh, pen polygon tool, select here. Basically, until you're building up. I always try and keep on cleaning those edges as you create them. That way you don't need to go back in and and now we have the wing of the aircraft modeled in, at least part of it. So now we're going to go back in, click, then hold down C. There we go, hit enter. Split polygon tool. And we'll do it one more time. Follow this line, follow here. Now hold down C and just continue adding to the geometry. Now to fill this hole, you can actually use a couple of techniques. You can grab these and extrude back there, or you can simply just keep on using this tool and fill in those gaps. Whoops, a mistake right there. Go back. There we go. Let me just quad this out. There we go. So there's one of the wings of the airplane. And I'm just going to clean this one real quick. Delete edge vertex to make sure we delete the edge and the actual vertex. So now if we isolate this, we have a piece of the aircraft. And as long as you keep on using that append tool and building up on the CV curves you laid out at the beginning, you should be good to go. And you should have no trouble building this from that. Yep. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. And I'll do my best to answer any questions you may have. Take care.